So hello dear people of the internet. My name's Hannah, I'm 14, almost 15 years old. I'm from Germany and this is my first YouTube video ever. Yay! Anyway, today I'm going to be talking about my favourite books ever because I think that's a really great way to learn something about a person you don't really know anything about, and because my really good friend Sawyer Smith, who I've known for about 1.5 years now, started a YouTube channel yesterday and did just about the same thing. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying it. You're going to enjoy it. I'm going to talk about young adult books and adult books because I'm interested in both. Anyway, you see this big heap of books here. That's what I'm going to talk about. So if you're not into that, you should just go now because it's going to be intense. Okay, so I'm going to start with young adult and slowly get into classics. So yeah, you have the chance to leave and I warned you. Okay, so I'm going to start with a book I really like. Surprise, surprise, it's called Panic and it's by Lauren Oliver. What you should know about this book is that Lauren Oliver is a really good young adult author. Her first book, which I also have, is Before I Fall. It's about a popular girl who dies and relives the day of her death again and again. And in the end, okay, I'm not going to say it because it's a spoiler, but I really like that too. That's the first book I read from her. And after that, I read all her other books, and of all those books, Panic was my favourite. And Panic is basically about a bunch of teenagers in a really small town in the state of New York who play an illegal game after high school, which, should they win, allows them to leave the city, which otherwise they have no chance of doing. However, the police working against them. The challenges are really cruel and really dangerous, and it's just really a novel about friendship, how far you're willing to go, and just what people want. It's all about emotions and it's really dramatic. So basically what you should know about me, the first thing about me, I'm the queen of drama. Where my friend Sawyer is the queen of sass, which she is, I'm the queen of drama. So I like dramatic books. So read Panic. Just the cover is enough of a reason, actually. Okay, so now that I've finished telling you about one of my favourite books ever, I'm going to move on to the next. We're still in young adult, and this is actually a series of books, which you probably don't know because, to my knowledge, it's quite unfamous. It's called The Life as We Knew It series by Susan Beth Pfeffer, and it's a series of books about, well, I'm not going to say the apocalypse, but basically what happens is a comet flies into the moon, I think, and a lot of things like change, all the satellites get out of order, and people are just trying to basically cope with their life. And the protagonist, she's called Miranda, and Miranda is 17, and she lives with her normal family somewhere, and basically it goes from, in the beginning, a normal teen worries about fangirling over a sport player, to in the end just really almost dying. And it's a very good book. It'll take you ages to read. It's really emotionally devastating, but it's so good. And I don't know, I think if from any of those books you ever read any, you should so read this book. It's not expensive at all. It costs $8. You should read it. Read this book. Anyway, the sequel, well, to Life as We Knew It is The Dead and the Gone. This time Miranda is not the protagonist. Actually, that's a boy named Alex. Alex is, I think he's Puerto Rican, and he lives in New York. And it's basically the same story with exactly the same comet, but in New York, not in some small town in the middle of nowhere of the US. And yeah, it's also very dramatic. It's kind of like AU, and but it's really good. You should read it too. I think this is more for the boys, and the other one is more for the girls. And there's a third book in the series, because the series is never going to stop. For you, at least, that's what it seems like. It's called This World We Live In, which is basically the two worlds of Life as We Knew It and The Dead and the Gone basically clashing together like this. And basically you see Alex and Miranda, because Alex shows up at Miranda's doorstep because they're fleeing from New York for reasons that I cannot unveil to you. and romance blossoms. But it's a really good book. It just sounds bad, really, believe me. It sounds cliche, it's really good. Like, this is such a good series, I can't believe that no one's reading it, so that's why I'm talking to you about this. Actually, I'm willing to bet my college fund that there's going to be a movie about this. Actually, I'm not. I'm really not. And there's a fourth book in the series, which theoretically you should know about. It's called The Shade of the Moon, but don't read it, because it absolutely sucks. Like, I'm sorry, Susan Beth Pfeffer, but this book sucks. Okay, so now that I've told you about this series, which you should absolutely, totally, unavoidably read, there's another one from the same author, because I'm fangirling like that, and when I like one book, I go to Amazon or Google and stalk that author until I've found all books that that author has written, and order every single one of them that I find interesting, even if I don't have the money for it. That's just me. So this one, anyway, is called Blood Wounds, and the cover is terrible, and I don't care. And it's not about an apocalypse, or not about meteors or stuff like that. It's actually about a girl that lives with her mother after her stepdad was not a good man, and her mother left him when she was a baby with her. And now she lives with her stepfather and her two very spoiled sisters. She's depressed and not feeling very good, obviously. And she finds out that her father killed his second wife and all their children and is coming to kill her. Now, you might think this is not the book for you because A, what the fuck is going on with the plot, and B, just general question, how the fuck is this related to the other books she's been writing? It's not, but it's dramatic, and if you remember what I've been saying, I love dramatic things. And although this is really cliche about like depressing teens and what depressing teens do, depressed is the word I was looking for, it's a very good book. I don't know why I liked it. Maybe I was going through a very bad phase at that time, presumably because it was like a month after my father died, but I really loved the book. You should read it. Seriously. Okay, I think that stare I'm giving you is kind of creepy because I'm seeing it myself, you know, so I'm going to stop talking about that book and get on to something truly and utterly amazing. Something you should read even if you're not a person who reads, which is unlikely that you are that kind of person because this is almost 8 minutes into this video, so if you don't like books, why are you watching this? Instead of stalking me. Anyway, this is my absolute love of books. The Cabinet of Curiosities. Again with bad covers, but oh my god, this is so good. And I've been saying that about every single one of the books, and I don't care. Okay, I don't. This is actually a bunch of short stories by 4 young adult authors, all of which you don't know, but even if you do, so in case you do, I'm going to read their names anyway. Stefan Bachmann, Claire Legrand, Catherine Catmull, and Emma Trevane. This is basically just creepy short stories, dramatic short stories, kind of fantastic short stories in a way that they're the fantasy genre, but they're fantastic, like the adjective too. And oh my god, I love this book so much. I've given it to my friend to read too, and she's loved it too, and that's why you should read it too. Okay, obligatory for this list, and we're still in young adult. Harry Potter. Because Harry bloody Potter. Now, I will admit that I am actually rather a fan of the dark things in Harry Potter universe, not because I am pure-blood supremacist or anything of that kind, just because, basically, all things evil or dark or mysterious draw me in like light does a moth. Like this. Even though I consider myself a pretty light person, which is why you can see that Gryffindor banner there in the background, possibly. Anyway, anything Slytherin or dark or Voldemort really interests me. And I've taken a very, very unusual interest in Tom Riddle, like the young Tom Riddle, not Voldemort, because he's insane, and even too insane for me in the books. But because I rather like his character, and not like, but I'm fascinated with it in a rather short way. That makes sense. I love this book because I recently read it for a second time after not reading the books for like 3 years, and I seriously could not remember that there were scenes, including Tom Riddle, apart from the ones in the movie, and I was so happy I just had to include this one. So, Harry Potter, I don't think I have to say any more about that. Then, now we move on to the classics, or the things that your teachers force you to read in school. Actually, this one I was forced to read in school, and the one after that, and the one after that too, so you might say I actually like all kinds of books. This one, it's Perfume by Patrick Süskind. I have the English book, even though it's actually in German, and that makes no sense because I am a German, and I am from Germany. But never mind, I read it in my English class with a teacher who had no idea that we all actually already knew it, at least me. And it's really good. It's actually kind of supernatural in a way, and kind of creepy. It's about a man who can smell very well, and he wants to collect all kind of smells, and in the end he finds that the smell of people, of certain people, is the absolute best. So in the end what he does is randomly, or rather not so randomly, but in a like evil genius kind of way, kills people to collect their scents. Yeah, it's about 100 times better than what I just said. And if you like what I just said, then consider yourselves either insane or someone who I really, really want to be friends with. Another book I read in school, this one I read in 6th grade, I think, and I still love the teacher who read it with me for it, is recently turned into a film, The Giver by Lois Lowry. Now, what you should know if you only saw the movie sucks. The book is 300,000 times better, and you should totally read it because it's only $7 apparently, and it has only roughly 200 pages. And it's so good. I absolutely, I can't speak today, love dystopian novels, and this is like one of the best. Not counting George Orwell's 1984, of course, but you know what I mean. So, read that too. Now, for something you all, I think, are gonna sigh at, but which I genuinely love, like really genuinely love, is a book I read in 9th grade, or rather not a book, but a drama. A drama by, drumroll, Shakespeare! Collective eye rolls from all of the audience. This is Hamlet, as you might have guessed. And yes, this is so cliche that I like this book, but it's not a book, it's a drama. But anyway, it is really compelling and philosophical and dramatic and fantastic and suspenseful and just everything. Also really morbid. And I don't know, I just really think it's one of the best things ever written. I've tried to get my friend Amalia to read it, but she won't, just because it's Shakespeare, which I think is stupid. But you all people should consider reading it. I mean, I'm a 14-year-old girl, and I own a t-shirt with a to be or not to be thingy, and I actually know it by heart, I think. It's
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis noble in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and die posing in them. To die, to sleep perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rap, for in that sleep of death what dreams may coil.
something that makes Calamity of so long life. I don't know it all, but I know a lot of it. Okay, whoa, this video is long already. Sorry for every one of you who feels compelled to watch this because you know me. Sorry, and who's probably really bored right now, but yeah, that's your problem, not mine. So anyway, last book on my list, another collective sigh from the audience, is actually a German book, another sigh. This is really my favourite book. I got it when I was 12, which is unusual because it's not a book you get when you're 12. I was in Prague when I got this, in the Czech Republic. I was there with my mother and a friend and former colleague of hers, and they're both German teachers, and this is actually something I read in like 12th grade, so this is like for people that are almost adults. But I got it when I was 12 because c'est la vie. It's from Franz Kafka, and it's called Die Verwandlung. I think in English it's called The Metamorphosis. It's about a guy who wakes up one morning as a bug. Hear me out on this. It's very well written, it's dramatic, and it's purely symbolic because this was written by the author when he felt left down by his family. And the book is basically about the bug not being accepted by the family, even though I think they know that this is like part of their family, their son or brother or whatever. They treat it really badly, and at one point I think he almost gets squashed. And in the end something really dramatic happens. And it's basically just a really absolutely poetic and symbolic way of getting your anger out at feeling left alone by your family. So this is like the best book ever in my opinion. Also, it's I think the shortest book on my list, which definitely proves that quality is not related to quantity. And oh my god, this is 16 minutes long. Oh shit. Poor people that have to watch this. Anyway, I hope you learned a lot about me. Things that I think you learned about me is I'm kind of insane. I like dramatic things. I read a lot. And I like to do this thing with my eyes a lot. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Subscribe, tell your friends, like this video, so on and so forth. And I'm going to go now because this is getting ridiculously long. Bye!